Can you talk about any partnerships that you've established for your data?
Sure, absolutely. There are a couple of partnerships that we've established actually to bring greater value to advertisers when people purchase advertising campaigns on our site. The two companies that we're currently working with are Quantcast and Nielsen. And Quantcast, of course, is the upstart. They've been around for a little over 2 years. They're based in San Francisco, and they have done a fantastic job of monitoring web usage. And through our participation in the Quantcast media program, advertisers are able to target based on a number of demographic and psychographic factors as kind of the Me Too aspect of Quantcast, right? So within interactive space, yes, we can target adults 25, 54, men 18 to 34. We can bring definition to that entire universe. We can tell you reach and frequency against it. But of course, we're online, so we have to do things better than our friends in television. So the next step to that is with Quantcast, they can actually put pixels on specific KPIs. So key performance indicators on a marketer's website. And as people take actions against those KPIs, so whether they're buying products or building a vehicle or looking for more information, we can actually build out custom profiles. And so let's say after 10,000 actions are taken, we then have that audience of 10,000 people, and in Quantcast goes and they find what is common among those 10,000 people, and then they'll go out and help the marketer find the 10 million people who exhibit those same behaviors. So it's bringing the very refined audience targeting capabilities that we have online and scaling it up in a way that makes sense for marketers. With our friends at Nielsen, we've done a lot of great work with them as well. Currently, AppPlan is one of the preeminent ways that marketers have been using, or preeminent research tools that marketers have been using to decipher what types of audiences are actually on a website, figuring out the composition and the indices for a particular website. Now what we're able to do is we're actually able to take that audience profile found in AppPlan and actually target against it. And we're able to do this because of their purchase of Claritas years ago, and their capabilities with Prism. So if a marketer has a Prism code that they've been using either in the print world or in television to, again, figure out the composition of an audience, not only can we tell you the composition of our audience against that particular Prism code, but we can actually target those Prism codes because Prism codes are all geo-based and zip code based. So, and it's not just Wonderground.com that's able to do this. It's a lot of publishers out there in the online space that are able to do this, and we're very excited about those capabilities.
Everybody's affected by weather. It's, everybody, should be your target.
It's the air we breathe.
It's the air we breathe. So in terms of behavioral targeting, what kind of targets do you reach?
Mm-hmm. Well, besides the aforementioned Nielsen and Quantcast as far as ways to differentiate our audience, we're also able to use some of our internal tools, such of course geo-targeting, so knowing what market people live in. We're also able to see what I refer to as probably not the correct term, but I call it down and distance. So we know where somebody is physically located, we know what market they're in, and then we know what content they're looking at. So you can infer that this person is going to be traveling because we all look at the destination, at the weather, before we travel to see what we need to put in our suitcase to make sure we're comfortable. But I think that from a bigger picture aspect, in the media space, we've been living under this draconian ways that somehow adults 25-54 is the end-all be-all audience demographic, or men 18 to 34 or adults 18 to 34, whatever the age sex breakout is. And I think that marketers are starting to wisen up that, hey, you know what, this isn't necessarily what's best for me. Maybe as opposed to men versus women, maybe what's most important to me is it raining? Is it forecasted to rain? Maybe that's what really moves my sales needle. And I think that as a media community, we need to do what we can to help marketers hone in their messaging to where it matters most. And because everybody has to deal with weather every single day, it is our belief and our stance that weather should be one of the primary means that people use to decide, is my message correct? Yes or no? And what is then the right message for people who are about to deal with either inclement weather or sunny weather or whatever the weather is? It's just a better way to factor in human behavior because, again, weather affects everybody.